admit I do lie having feelings for Cupid. I could have just told her that I really don't, because I could have just said to her that I just don't really have feelings for you. I just
Then why
rather
a week later say you did?
I was gonna say, I
Say,
thought
oh,
you
I should
did.
have said. Yeah, I
Why
should
did
have
you?
said I love you, Cupid. Is it
because I
because you never?
lied.
Is it because
Why
you
did?
no long? Is it because you had no longer had my attention? Because you no longer had that grasp on me?
Because I just thought that if I did hurt you real bad, I could have just gone like distant
So
away
you
from you.
thought that it was the right fucking move to
No, it's
fuck with
not.
somebody who you haven't even let me fucking finish yet, Tuna.
It's not. Sorry.
You really thought it was the right fucking move to come out of left field and fucking manipulate and lie to somebody who has been manipulated and lied to their whole fucking life for your own benefit.
It's not a right thing to.
And you thought I was gonna sit by and just fucking let you do it.
No, you would be really
Fuck you.
stupid.
Fuck you, Tuna.
Why? Why would you think leading someone on is a good idea, and lying to them, and then proceed to lie yet again and tell me something totally different? Why would you think that was a good idea?
It was a worse idea just to pretend that you have feelings for somebody.
But I'm
So why
confused.
would
Do
you
you
do
or
it?
do you or do you not have feelings for Cupid?
No.
But why? What? But you
So
fucking
why would
said
you
that you
lie?
did, though.
Okay. I do, but at the same time, I'm scared to say that I have a crush on you. That's one thing is the problem with
Well,
me.
you already fucking burnt that bridge.
Yeah, I already did.
Yeah, you did. And she
You already
dodged a
burnt that.
fucking bullet.
You already burnt that bridge when you messed with my feelings with that twisted joke. Even my friend came in being like, "Oh yeah, she doesn't get social cues." They're my ex-friend now, but they came in from what I was aware and being like, "Oh yeah, she doesn't get social cues. That's part of who I am." You didn't make that clear, and you didn't make that clear enough. You basically messed with my emotions, and then once I got interested in somebody else, you backpedaled. Even knowing what I went through, I told you what I went through, and you still did it anyways.
I just think he wanted the attention. I think that's all he wanted.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
He's
Because now that he doesn't
he's an
have my
attention seeker.
I do.
Let's look at the
I
fucking
know.
writing on the wall, okay?
I know I'm attention.
He lied about his fucking height for clout. Said he had a
Yeah.
disability for clout. Said he liked you for clout. He just
Yeah.
wanted the attention. That was all this little fucking faggot ever wanted because he is fucking insignificant. There's nothing about his life that is fucking vital or important. He just lies for attention. That's it. That's all he does. He has nothing to offer anybody in here because he has yet to work on himself.
So my question is, who else have you lied to about how you feel towards them?
I lied to Nezzy. I lied to Vamp. I lied to Cupid. I even lied to everyone here in the server, which made it bad and wasn't tempting because now I feel like I put in a lot of attention to hurt everyone's feelings. Not only that, I hurted Cupid the most because I lied to her twice, but now I already lied to her third time. And I also twisted my words out of my mouth on Rev, and
Okay.
me complaining about my mental, complaining about my disability as for Cloud, and lying about my height as Cloud, and lying to
No, the lying about your height part lends into the disability thing because you've lied about having fucking dwarfism.
yeah.
Your height gives out no fucking. You are 5'8". You are the most fucking average height that anybody could be. Nobody is going to find out who you are based on your fucking height. That does not give you the right to lie about having a fucking disability and then lying about being through fucking surgery to fix said disability, which you didn't have.
I don't. And you're right. I should have lied.
So
Yeah,
here's my
you
next
fucking
question.
shouldn't have.
So here's my next question.
Next question.
When you were putting yourself, where I'm gonna say it like it is, when you were putting yourself in the line of fire, when it came to all the predator hunting shit, and
Okay.
you told Vampiric that there was a chance she might have to go into the hospital. Was that a lie also?
Oh wait, about the part when I said I was having the
Then
okay, that part.
you said it was a heat stroke,
Yeah,
and you stated that
no,
you
it
were
wasn't
gonna
a
have to be
lie.
sent. But let me finish.
It,
You said
sorry,
it was a heat stroke on
it
top of a
was.
fever, and you said to Vampiric that you had to go to the hospital. Was that also a lie or no?
No, it wasn't because I was feeling, like the temperature was getting worse for me to the point that I feel like I was gonna lose my mind. This was not the lie. It was not a lie. It was not a lie.
So by hospital, do you mean a mental hospital or a
I
actual
was meant to
hospital
say
where you go in
I
to
was
check your physical health?
I was meant to say I was gonna go to my mental hospital. That's what I was meant to say, but I missed the word mental because I wasn't good at spelling.
Tuna,
So,
I'm gonna point something out here. You don't go to a mental hospital for a
no.
heat stroke or a fever.
Oh wait, you just go to an actual hospital, right?
You go to an actual hospital for your physical health. So why would you
Why
go
would
to a
you go to
mental
a mental
hospital
hospital for
for
a
your for a
physical
heat
condition?
No,
yeah.
like I was not. I didn't go there. It's more like I miscorrected. That's what I meant. I was meant to go there, so I did go there yesterday. Like
So why would you say it was a mental hospital if you knew what a mental hospital was?
I didn't know things. I
I
don't,
just
bro.
I, I just explained it to you, Tuna. I said a mental hospital is where you go for your mental health. If you're having physical problems, you go to a hospital to check on your physical health. Why did you agree and say it was a mental hospital?
I
Why would you go to a mental hospital for a heat stroke?
didn't know. No, I didn't know.
Tuna, do you understand why this doesn't make sense?
It doesn't because I'm not good at. I'm not good at.
So I'm going to answer. I'm going to ask you this one more time. When you told Vampiric that you were going to the hospital for said problem, or because something worse could have potentially happened to you, was it a lie or was it not a lie?
Was
And if it was
not
not a lie, please specify what you were
okay.
going to go to the hospital for.
Okay, that all happened because I was completely unstable because of the whole thing, right? I told my mom, well, she said to me that she will take me to the hospital, which she will. She didn't do it. So I was going to wait for her if we can go there tomorrow. So she said, we'll go there. So we did. We
Okay,
did go
so
there.
I'm gonna
We
put
did
you. I'm
go
gonna
there.
interject. I'm going to interject. Please specify what you mean by unstable.
I was literally not in a good state because the heater I was having was getting hotter to the point I put the temperature to 2 when I was feeling stressed out to the point my body was hurting me bad, which is why I was stressing out. That's why I told my mom. That's why I told Vamp that I'm going to the hospital.
You sure it
Cuz
So
wasn't? Are you sure
I'm
you
sure
weren't?
I'm
Hang on,
positively
wait
sure.
a minute! Are you sure it wasn't just a normal, like, panic attack and you were just hyperventilating? Because usually your body heats up and you start sweating because of it. Because of stress.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
would like to say that most heat strokes in that condition will cause half of your body to be paralyzed because it overstimulates the body to the point where it doesn't process anything. You're
I have a
welcome.
better
I've
question for him. Tuna, what is heat stroke?
He's drunk.
What is heat stroke, Tuna? How do you get heat stroke?
It's like a sign of having a headache, dizziness,
No.
confusion.
mm-mm.
Oh,
It's not even warm enough for you to have heat stroke. You live in the fucking British Isles in fucking March. How are you getting fucking heat stroke?
because I have a bed that has a heater in the bottom of it. I have it on.
You really
Because
do
my
have an answer for everything.
Then turn it
okay,
off.
but you're asking me what is the heat stroke?
Turn it off. It's so real.
I said
Tuna, you can't get a heat stroke from something you're laying in or covering yourself with.
but I have a bed cover. I
You
I
can't
know
get a
I
heat
have
A
stroke.
heating
You
pad?
can't
I don't think a heating pad would even do that. Or a heat blanket.
you can't get a heat stroke from a heating pad, Tuna.
what am I supposed to say?
Do you even know the definition of a stroke in general?
Mom
It's a
never
yes or no
told me what
question.
it is. No one, my mom never told me what it is. No one told
Okay.
me about this.
Okay, so let me educate you then.
Please do.
A stroke is when someone has a delayed reaction or delayed response in the brain. Their body goes limp, either half of their body or their entire body, and they are unresponsive.
Or I've experienced it. Well, me personally, I haven't experienced it. I've seen it though. If you're gonna talk to somebody and they're not understanding what they're saying and they're just not speaking but they're mumbling or they're making sounds, that's a stroke happening.
If they answer something that was like 10 minutes ago and they can't answer the basic questions on what day it is, what is your name,
That
or where
part.
you are, and they can't move their body, they can't move their face, none of that. Like their entire muscles just stop functioning. That is a stroke,
Yep.
and that could kill someone.
Yep.
So you saying
Or
that you're having
paralyzed.
a heat stroke? So you saying you're having a heat stroke? You wouldn't be mobile, let alone conscious.
I think I still though because that's what happened. Like I've been having that stroke. I mean, not for years or anything. I had it like since like 5 days ago. Like every time, like I forgot to turn it off because it was getting overheated. So I turned it off because I just didn't like how the temperature hurts to the point my body, my muscles, and I can't even move well. And to the point
That's
I can't even get up or wake up or even, brush my teeth. It just hurts.
still, that's not a heat stroke. That just means your body's overheated.
Like my body just fucking hates. I just hate it. Hate it.
This is another question I wanted to ask for the longest time. I know I asked this in DMs before. You mentioned that
Go, please go.
you mentioned you had DID. Is that also true or is that false? Because I've had plenty of people lie about it and I'm at the point where I'm just gonna fucking bash my head against the wall because of so many lies I've been fucking dealing with.
Okay. Okay, for the DID, yes, I do have it, but I can't find the paper of it because I was about to look for it. I looked everywhere because I thought it was there that my mom had, but it was not here.
You
I
can't
tried
find it. You didn't look for it. You looked everywhere.
because my mom had to clean the house.
Tuna, do you know what DID even is?
I was gonna ask that.
It's a simple yes or no question. Do you know what DID is?
Select discovery and identity disorder.
Partially right. It's dissociative identity disorder. Do you know the meaning of that, Tuna?
Is it formerly known as multiple personality disorder? Is characterized
Did you Google it?
by by the pressure of two or more distant personality states along.
Did you
Tuna.
Google what DID is?
Is it like past trauma?
Did you Google what DID is?
Yeah, I can Google that.
You're already reading something.
Yes, because
I mean, I've explained what it was, and you told me that you had it in DMs.
I never remember it. That's
You
the
don't have
problem.
you don't have DID, do you, Tuna?
Oh, really fucking no.
I can't, bro.
Well, the thing is, like, I know, my father is originally gonna be, like, the caregiver to me because of, it's basically my therapist told me that my dad would have to go to court to be the caregiver and everything because, you know, I know it's not related to this, but it is because my dad takes me everywhere and all that kind of stuff, especially for appointments. He has all my information, he keeps it in a file. So if Tuna's mother is the same way, but she lost that, then I mean that's fucked because that's important information. So like
My mom.
if Tuna goes back to therapy and they ask him, "Oh, so what's your mental state? What or were you diagnosed before? Whatever," and he doesn't have that paperwork, then if I'm right, he's like fucked in a way. But the therapist and the psychiatrist would have to redo everything. Because, well, then again, they have a file, but if he hasn't been in therapy for this long, then that kind of resets itself. That's as far as I can recall. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me.
I have to redo mine, so I think you're right.
Yeah, actually, because it is required for a professional to at least have a rundown of what you've been diagnosed in the past time. Because my family keeps everything documented. I have everything documented, and it's also in portals. It is important for them to know, and if you don't remember, then you're gonna have to be reevaluated for said things.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
But the thing is, you said your mom had the paperwork. Where was the last place she had that? Or kept it
Look,
safe?
so from what I can tell, I had it before since 2010. But then all of a suddenly the paper was not here when we moved in. We had an old house, right? It was never there, and I couldn't remember where it was because I told her, where's the paper that my therapist gave me?" She said, "I'm not sure." Like, I looked around the house, I looked around here, I looked around in my mom's room, my brother's room, my room, and even the the kitchen, the living room.
So how old were you in 2010?
8. Because me and Tuna are the same age, but his birthday's in November.
So can you be diagnosed with DID when you were 8 years old?
Yes. Yes.
No.
I was going to say DID is diagnosed when somebody is an adult. Tuna, you do not have DID.
Wait, I don't.
You do not.
You could have
But I
been.
thought like
You could have been
but I thought my
diagnosed.
therapist told me that.
You could have been diagnosed with something else, but if it's not DID, because again, that's like my ex friend sitting there saying, "Oh well, I was 8 years old and diagnosed with psychosis," and I'm like, "How is that fucking possible?"
Didn't mention that word.
Like I thought my therapist told me that, but I've been lied by her. I mean,
Well,
I had
the
an old
thing,
therapist
well,
before.
I was gonna say is that my therapist misdiagnosed me, and I had a doctor that also did my autism fucking shit. Not only did I get diagnosed for autism and shit, but it came out that I had 2 different types of depression, so I had major depression and other shit that my therapist never fucking told me. So, if your therapist at the time said one thing, but come to find out you don't have that, then she misdiagnosed you.
She did, and I'm upset at her now.
Because, again, I've watched documentaries of actual people who do experience DID, not from TikTok, because TikTok is the worst fucking example for that shit. Same with autism, but there is a woman that I watch, and she has DID, and she makes documentaries about it because she gives you actual information, this, that, and the third of what, her therapist or psychiatrist have told her. So she influences other people. She found out she had symptoms of DID when she was like, I think, she didn't know as a teenager, but she found out in her 20s. So it's very rare for a teenager to have those symptoms because, again, I have an actual cousin who has DID since she found out at like, I want to say 15 or 16. But doctors will tell you that it's very rare to have like show those symptoms at that age. But at 8 years old, that's really impossible. I mean, with other shit like, trauma or whatnot, yeah, but DID is very hard to find in kids because kids have a huge imagination, especially if you're on the spectrum. So for that to even be possible, you would have to do a lot of like work, like a lot of tests for that, especially brain waves and everything, because they have to put shit in your head to calculate your brain length and other tests.
Bear in mind,
So
this would all be happening under universal healthcare, so he would be getting this for free.
yeah,
Like,
but
well,
I mean,
I don't
if you're
understand
gonna
why
Um,
he
if
said
you're gonna do like you mentioned to Nico before that you plan on doing therapy again. You've told me this before. If you do plan to go back to therapy and they ask you, what you've been feeling or whatnot, be honest about it. Tell them from point A to fucking Z of everything, and they're gonna do what they do, and then you're gonna get your results because that's the shit I had to do as a teenager and
isn't
even
yeah,
as
that
an adult.
isn't that something? Is it malpractice or some shit?
Well, I'm pretty fucking sure.
I want to say because that's yeah that's a I think that's a felony, and that could like revoke their license and shit.
Because
Because I'm
the
getting somewhere with this. I'm getting somewhere with
because
this. Um,
because
I was
because
Like,
I was gonna state as an example was I was the similar age, but it wasn't about DID. I had the school not only down me, but they sat there saying, "Oh no, Vamp has uh a learning disability. She has ADD, this, that, and the third," just to find out fucking a decade later, nope, you're autistic. The school failed you. Oh yeah, thanks. So it can happen to
yeah.
therapists too.
like this
My
book.
my example was that I was misdiagnosed with epilepsy, and it fucked up me and my brother's lives. Because we were misdiagnosed, and we weren't able to do shit because of this diagnosis. And come to find out that it wasn't just me and my brother that were diagnosed with epilepsy by this. Okay, epilepsy by this doctor. It was a shit ton of other patients too, and it turned into a class action lawsuit for medical malpractice.
Like
Like,
I can actually sit there and sue the schools that I went to that did that shit, diagnosing me poorly and also downing me, but because I'm already graduated, it's been too long, I can't really do much, but if they do the shit to my brother, then that's something we can do. I mean, I said this to you, Nezzy, so you know what I'm getting with that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
again,
still
I had an old therapist who misdiagnosed me. She only told me that I was depressed and had anxiety and insomnia, but yet the doctor who diagnosed me for autism, she also did mental health. I had other shit listed. So that's why I'm
like,
sitting here being like, so my old therapist kind of fucked me up, lied to me about there was nothing else wrong, but yet it's right
that's what
fucking
she
it's
did
in
the same
paper.
thing. She literally says I have DID, and I was confused. What is that? Even though I go up and ask them, well, she said I have none of that, and I was confused. She never told me that. She said I had,
But then when I asked the doctor, they said I don't. And it's just
You sure you didn't misheard it from something else?
Well, if it said on the
He
paper,
probably
if it said on his paperwork before, and the mother had it at the time, and it said that he had DID, but again, how can an 8-year-old have DID that early? Kids are very imaginative, but it's very rare as well. I mean, if it is true, then that's very, very extremely rare for an 8-year-old to be diagnosed at that age, that young, to experience. Well, the thing is with DID is linked to severe fucking trauma. So you can probably show symptoms as a kid, but like it's not going to heavily show until you're older. So again, that is extremely rare if he was diagnosed with it. So it's a gray area if you want to put it that way. It's a very, very gray area because again, that's like saying somebody was diagnosed at the age of 10 with schizophrenia. That's very rare because despite of what they went through, that could be very like rare because the only way you can catch that is like maybe when you're a teenager or mostly as an adult. So, I mean, again, I could be wrong on what I say, but you know.
it's kind of like being diagnosed with lupus at the age of 5.
like, that's what fucking confused me when my old therapist lied to me. It upsets me because I didn't even remember any of this because she told me about this when we talked.
Can we not do the fake crying anymore, please?
I'm not fake crying. It's more like I am literally in terrible tears right now. Like I am literally crying because of how fucked I am. Because of how
Literally crying, literally in tears. I'm literally sobbing, guys. Guys, I'm really upset.
okay.
I also wanted to bring this out just a little bit. Again, this is about my cousin. She has DID. When I first encountered her alters, she snapped at me. Well, not she, but one of her alters snapped at me because something was bothering her and we kept joking around and to the point where she dissociated and her alter said, "Fuck off. You're going to have to leave Sam alone." So, well,
I did
because I even asked her because, you know, me seeing that in person, I only watch videos. So encountering that in person was like, wow, what the fuck? First time, whatever. I asked her about that kind of stuff because because a person with DID, what she told me is that alters have their own kind of boundaries when it comes to happy triggers, negative triggers, whatever. It's a huge, it's confusing, but at the same time, it's helpful. But the first thing is like, if you do have DID, do you like dissociate and have like, this is a therapeutic thing. I'm not a therapist, but this is what I remember. If you're diagnosed with DID, like you say, or what your therapist said at the time, do you like dissociate and feel like a different person that's taking over, like like because you're the host, your alters will take over if you allow them to.
Yes. I mean, I've been different and I've been acting differently in front of my mom and my brother, which my brother was really confused and concerning. And he's been saying to me that you've been acting odd and you've been acting weird. And if it's kind of concerning me to the point that I told him that I'm fine, but at the same time, I'm not. I'm not.
Because if you do go back to therapy and you mention your therapist, like, hey, you know, I feel that so and so, and you bring up the thing like, hey, may think that I may have DID, the therapist and the psychiatrist would have to give you like a questionnaire and do tests, like give you, well, basically a questionnaire. Like, I went and told my therapist where I was like, my mother said that I could have psychosis. So they gave me a questionnaire. Well, do you experience this, this, and this for psychosis? And I'm like, well, no. And she was like, then you don't have psychosis. You just very, very badly just black out and you have your basically the aggressor or whatever the fuck you want to put it. I don't know how she put it, but basically I just fucking black out. But because of my mother, I had to fucking ask that because she made it seem like I was fucking crazy and fucking had psychosis. I have a knife, hello? Head ass. But anyways, they would have to ask you those kind of questionnaires, and it's basically like a yes or no, but then you also got to tell them, like, well, this is how I feel, this is what I've been, whatever. They document that, and then they will tell you your next appointment and be like, well, we got the results back, here's so and so.
Right. Like, I mean, she would have just told me about that, but she never told me because she literally told me about that. I asked my mom if I do or not, and she was a little concerned and confused. Not only that, I did answer some questions with my old therapist that she told me that I had one when I was in the age of 8. Like, I was confused if it's a thing or not, like if I really do. And she never told that to my mom. She only told that to me, which
Wait,
makes no sense.
I just remembered this. I forgot to mention this. If she said you had DID at the age of 8, back then when we were young, DID wasn't even a thing. Like, it was something else, but it wasn't referred to as dissociative identity disorder. It was something different. I forgot what it was, but DID started becoming an official disorder and documented. Okay, if you let me fucking finish, Dad, thanks. Now I don't even remember what I was saying. But basically back then it was basically like my dad said, it was schizophrenic with multiple personality disorders. But because, can you shut up for fucking 5 seconds, thanks? It's basically fuck. Oh my god. What I'm saying is, what I looked up, what I had my therapist tell me because I was confused about what the fuck DID was. She's basically saying the same shit my dad is saying. It's basically at the time. So again, if your therapist was saying, "Oh, you have DID," DID wasn't even a thing that time in like 2006, 2000s. It was known as something else. So for her to say that it was DID, that's impossible because DID recently got documented as a different mental illness slash disorder since I think before COVID even started. So I want to say like 2018, maybe 2019, if not 2020. So again, your therapist saying you had DID at 8 is again impossible because you're a child. How would you know that you show those symptoms really? Unless, again, traumatic experience or whatnot, like you mentioned before in your vents. But at the same time, it's like, I understand the PTSD part and whatnot at a young age, but DID is, again, that would be fucking rare, but DID wasn't a thing then. Actually, you know what?
Silence is absolutely deafening.
I wasn't sure who else wanted to talk, that's why I muted, because I think I said enough for now.
Oh, for sure. I just don't want us to stray too far away from the fact that he lied not only about his height but about having dwarfism being a disability.
I'm just gonna say this now, since you have lied about not only those two, but also like your feelings regarding Cupid, playing with her feelings, leading her on, whatever, after you have been made aware of what she went through, and also lying to us and making us feel stupid. Um,
I know. I
I'm
should
I'm
hear.
just gonna I'm speaking for myself, and I can probably a lot of people can
You
probably
don't
agree
need.
with me
You
that
don't need.
I'm not happy. I'm
Yeah,
not
you're
happy
not.
at all. Especially with
Neither.
you
lying.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Sorry.
Shut up, Bree. Um, I'm not happy at all, and I'm sure a lot of people in this call feels the same, especially
You
Cupid,
were formerly known as a
because
multiple.
she
Okay, it was a multiple
has been
personality
hurt
disorder.
before
The fucking 19th
by
century?
you twice, and the second time she
What
wasn't
the
even going to
fuck?
talk to you.
No, I was looking up, like, what? When
And
was DID discovered? And it says that
with all this
dissociative
being
identity disorder,
unwarranted
formerly known as multiple personality
and leading up to
disorder,
this
was
point,
first described in the 19th century. So it started
I'm not
only in
even sure what else to
1885.
say to you because we've talked to you twice before, and I'm
See, I
sure
was
other
trying to
people have
fucking
talked to you
verify. I only
privately.
fucking started learning about it when COVID started. That's why I was like,
I
what?
I don't know what else to say and do for you, Tuna. I'm sorry.
No, I know
I
that,
can't
but
and won't keep giving you chances.
somehow.
And it just seems at this point that since you've lied about a lot and you've played along with a lot, on top of doing unnecessary things as well, um, I I just personally think it'd be best if you just strayed away from everybody.
It's fine. I will. Because, I mean, again, I don't deserve any other chances. I really don't.
Stop
I
playing
feel
victim.
no, like, I
Stop
mean, like,
playing victim. Don't you fucking dare play victim. Don't. Because you don't fucking deserve it.
I don't. You're right. I don't deserve it. Because I'm always playing the victim in this, and I hate how I'm acting right now.
I
My
was gonna,
attitude's
I was gonna say this. I know that you're supposed to be on a break. You're supposed to be focusing on yourself, whatnot, and coming back. I guess what next week. I think you need a longer break than just being gone for like a week. If not, what? No, has it been almost 2 weeks? I forgot. Nezzy, has it been almost 2 weeks? Because I can't think. Everything's happening at once. Has it been almost 2 weeks?
Tuna yet? Huh?
Has it been almost 2 weeks on Tuna's break, or am I?
No.
Tuna hasn't even taken a break for a week.
No.
He was literally gone for like 2-3 days, and then just came back and said, "Hey, I'm fine now. I think I can talk to everybody."
I think
And
that judging by the fact that he's lied about this kind of shit before, I don't think a break is going to fix him. I just think this is the way that he is. And I think if this was anybody else, he'd have been booted out the server fucking a week and a half
I,
ago.
I am actually, I'm kind of leaning towards Rev on this one. Because this isn't the first time people have been deceived and lied to, and it's been the second time that he's done this. This is the third time, and you've not only lied about your height, you've lied about having a physical condition, and you've also kind of falsified that you having a mental condition, something that Cupid has. And it's like how would just like how am I gonna say his mom? What am I? Fuck! Okay! Damn! Just like how you
Well,
felt when Kira played Little with you having age regression, how do you think Cupid feels for you claiming that you have DID when you don't?
I never had one in the first place because my therapist lied to me,
well,
and
after
that's why.
finding that, well, that's the thing. You just found that out. What I'm saying is too is if you think or you feel like you do, I think, hence why I said if you do go back to therapy and you tell them everything how you've been feeling, and also talk about, like, hey, I've been starting to feel a certain way, and I don't know if it's this and this, they will do tests, give you a questionnaire, and then it will lead up to your symptoms. Like, again, I asked my therapist because of my mother if I had fucking psychosis. She asked me these questions because she had a list in front of her of the symptoms, and everything came out negative because I don't feel that way. I never experienced those kind of things. I only express that I black out, I don't think, and in a way, I dissociate by blacking out the way I do. So she told me, then you don't have psychosis, Kyra. You just black out very badly. So that solved everything. Therapists do this for a reason.
So I just, yeah, I don't. I'm kind of leaning with Rev on this one because this has been more than once that this has happened, and this is kind of reminding me of the Boffle situation where we have talked to him on multiple counts, and he still keeps doing the same things. And not only that, also put Cupid in a situation where she was uncomfortable. So I'm kind of leaning towards Rev on this one, where I don't think you should be in the server until some sort of redeeming quality is shown and proven to you, Tuna. I don't think it's best for you to be here because you have done way too much. You have caused too much, and a lot of things that you have said and done have been unwarranted and untruthful, and I can't tell what is a truth and what is a lie with you anymore. You've been more deceitful than honest, and I don't appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure some people in this call can agree.
Mhm.
I don't need to agree.
Um, I'm pretty sure mine and Rev's vote is where we stand. It is entirely up to you based on your decision, Vamprick. You are the owner of the server.
I just don't. Again, I'll say this again, Vamp. I know you're trying to be as diplomatic and fair as possible, but he's already pretty much said that he has done this before. So I just think this is just who he is now. I don't think he's going to change. I don't think you're capable of changing. I think you are a pathological liar, almost by habit. You lie to make yourself seem interesting. And you lie not really caring about other people. You do it for your own benefit. And then you run away. I honestly have nothing more positive to say to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to lay into you. So I am going to mute.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed, Tuna, and a little is an understatement, and I'm very pissed off. Um, I just, I don't think I think it's best that you should go. I'm disappointed, I'm pissed, and I'm frankly be getting tired of being made stupid for defending someone who I thought was a good person or I thought was a good friend, only to turn out that that shit got smacked in the face by someone who has a better observation than I do, and finding out the hard way once again.
You don't need
And
to forgive.
it has been a consistent pattern in this server. People who we thought were friends, where we thought were good people, turn out to be pieces of shit, predators, or very deceitful people. And we are frankly tired of going through the same limbo over and over again. And that's not fair to Vamprick, and it's not fair to us.
As best I will go now. But I know you guys don't need to forgive me. And I understand, Rev, that you would never forgive me for what I've done. And I know as well to you, Nezzy, I don't need to. I don't need to get any other chances. I really don't, because I fucked up everyone's life and I lied and all that shit. And I don't know. Depends if I'm going to be better and get actual help, because I don't think I'm even. I don't think I'm even fit to be here for my actions in lying and hurting others' feelings, less of playing their feelings for fun, because it's not great. It's just a messed up ways to hurt someone's mental health. And I
Also,
don't like.
there's one more thing I want to interject on, and I
Yes,
noticed it. I kind of want to bring it to the table.
go ahead.
I understand you've gone through a lot, but please, please don't ever use your trauma as an excuse as to why you do the shit that you do. Because that is equivalent of saying, oh, I have autism, and this is why I do such and such. Please do not blame your trauma on your behavior. Don't ever
I
use that as an excuse for your behavior ever again, because that is making you seem like even more of a piece of shit.
yeah.
And
I
you're going to lose and will continue losing a lot of friends.
yeah. I won't do that.
And
I'll do better.
I just can't, Tuna. And this is just me coming from the nicest part of me that I could probably, wring out of the rage
Yeah,
that I'm feeling right now.
I don't
I
mind people yell at me.
I
I mean,
I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to explode because I'm not at that point for one, and two, it is not mature of me to do so. I genuinely hope that this is a life lesson to you when you leave. I genuinely hope that this will be a life lesson to you and you will get better moving forward. Until then, everyone's decision is made up, and maybe you will be forgiven one day, maybe you will not be forgiven one day, but please take this as a life lesson
will
and
do.
to do better moving forward.
Will do. But you guys don't need to message me or check up on me. You guys can move on your own life and I'll move on mine, and I won't cause any problems or do anything. I'm just gonna stay quiet and silent. And I know, because no one will check up on me that
Just
much.
just
Hmm?
do better.
Yeah,
If you really care, and if you are being honest and genuine, you would do better.
right. I'll
I
do
don't want to
better.
hear anything of you don't gotta message me, you don't gotta contact me, whatever, whatnot, because you're starting to remind me of Vincent because he does the same thing, and that's also gonna irk me some more.
I won't be like how Vincent does. I won't message people too much. I'll just probably just stay silent
That's
and
not the Tina. That's not the point I'm getting at. What you're saying, is reminding me of Vincent with the you don't have to message me, you don't have to unblock me, none
What?
of that,
well,
whatever.
yeah, my
Yeah.
apologies. I won't
It
pull that.
is all a matter. It is all a matter of taking accountability and doing what you wish with this lesson moving forward. And I'm going
Yeah,
to crack down on. I'm going to crack down on you in ways I haven't done in such a long time with friends. So I'm going to tell you something that has been brewing for a minute. Again, I care about you, but in this sense and in this situation, you were a dumbass.
I am.
You were a dumbass, you were deceitful, you were dishonest, and you frankly have pissed everybody off in this server. You have fucked around with someone's feelings, which is a big fat no. You have played with ours and lied to us to our faces, and that is also a big fat no. So, and also, you yelling at people, you exploding on people in calls or in voice messages or whatever was completely unwarranted. That just goes to show where your maturity is at, and it is not looking good, especially if you're going to handle situations like predator hunting. If you cannot have the mental and emotional stability to handle confronting said suspect and being a predator or said predator as evident, you do not need to put yourself in these kinds of situations. And I'm going to talk to you like you're 12 years old. You do not need to be in grown folks' business. If you cannot handle handle being in grown folks' business, then you do not need to be in grown folks' business.
Right.
Tuna, grow up. Grow the fuck up. Take accountability and do better. Because you fucked up royally. And you are a dumbass. And you are a complete dumb fuck for doing so. You should have communicated. You should have owned up to it. You should have fixed it the first time this has happened. It shouldn't have to take for everybody. It shouldn't even have to take for Rev to go the fuck off on you for you to understand. You shouldn't even be a point where you have to be intimidated by this man.
Which I haven't
For you
gone
to
off for
understand.
I've massively held back. Massively. I cannot put into words how I feel about you as a person. As a man, frankly. It's disappointing.
Yeah. So no. I cannot excuse this. And you have gotten away with a lot more than what met the eye, and that is frankly that's not okay. You've been given more than one chance? Not even two, more than one chance into getting your shit together, and you have failed all of those chances. You have hurt people, you have angered people, you have disappointed people. Do better. And learn better and grow up. Get some goddamn help. After you leave, and this is coming directed, assuming after you leave, you are not to be on Discord until you've gotten your shit together. And I mean, really gotten your shit together.
I have a
You do not
question.
need to be on here for a while.
Will a vote be put to moderators about him if somebody ever suggests he comes back?
Will a vote be put up?
Yep.
I would agree it would be.
Okay.
I think it would. I would think it would be a mutual decision. I would think it would be a mutual decision between the members of the server and the admins itself and the owner herself to mutually agree on if it's a good idea for him to come back or not. And I feel like if that's being the case, prior to that should be an evaluation. But that could just be me doing a little bit of the most. Yeah, you need to fully get off of Discord and YouTube for a while. And it angers me more that you have made not only one person extremely uncomfortable, but you have also made someone who you were supposed to consider your mother so hurt to the point that she started crying. That's not okay, Tuna.
It's not.
I think everyone can agree on where we stand, and all I can tell you is just good luck. I've said everything that I could, and if anybody else wants to say something, they can.
Before I go, I'll do better. I'll work better. And if anything, I will not be here that often. I will go. All the pain that I've caused to everyone. And I will improve better. I won't go back to the same mistake that I did. And I'll work hard and not be a whiny grown ass man. I'll keep moving forward and give everyone more time they wanted and not be bothered to cause any dramas or making streams. I'm gonna be off from YouTube and Discord until I fully get myself to recover and do better. 'Cause- But again, I'm being serious on this one. I I don't know if I deserve another chance because I might break it because I can't really promise anything that much because of what I done.
All I'm gonna say is this: be a man about your shit.
I'll be a man.
And I'm saying this because I may not have, I may not be a man, but I know enough to to know how to be a man. Whatever you do moving forward, whether it's getting yourself some help or whatever, and doing what the fuck you can to get your shit together for the sake of yourself, be a man about your shit.
Right.
Stand on what you say and stand on your decision. That's what a man. That's what one of the things a man should do. Be a man about your shit and stand on it.
Like you stated, you don't want to be like your dad was. No. If you don't want that, then be better. Right. I won't be like him. I'll be better and I'll be who I am and not be like anyone else. I'll be me. Instead of being like anyone else, I'll be me. And I'll work on myself better instead without anyone else's help, but I can work on myself because I won't be asking for that much of help, but I will ask for help from my parents because I'll probably spend more time with my mom, my auntie, my cousins, especially especially my nephews, my IRL ones, because I'm worried about them and I should check up on them more often, like because they miss me, and I'll go to them tomorrow. I will. I will work on myself better. Will do. You can kick me out now.